was a gunshot!
Kenneth.
Everyone get your heads down!
Kenneth.
That was a drive-by attempt, Frank!
Kenneth, that was a neighbor's car backfiring.
They're coming for the eggs!
Kenneth!
They're coming for the eggs!
God damn!
Well, it's a very cold and rainy day today. And we're down into the high end of 40s with rain, so exciting stuff. I spent some time on the 1200 last night and finally put my tank protector on there. So I also put the new turn signals on there, LED transitioning turn signals. Did the front too. Next will be a headlight change because we're going to get rid of some of that old school look on the front end. We're just going to replace the innards right here. We're going to leave this and just replace the inside of this. So I'm going to figure out what headlight I want, but I needed some better turn signals to say the least. So there you go. Those should be pretty easy to see because my other ones are garbage. These are transitioning. You can see them run the whole light board down. So they should be considerably better. Yeah, I like those a lot more. So anyways, long story short, did that. I'm still even thinking about changing this over to a digital cluster. We'll see. It's working for now, but we'll see. But I definitely want to change this out, that headlight, get rid of some of that little old school look, and give it more of that aggressive Street Fighter profile, you know. But we're going to change the brake pads on it today because those came in and I've been needing to do it since I got the bike. So we're going to change front and rear, and yeah, and then I'm actually taking this in to have a clutch put in it by choice. One of the bearings, either throw out, release, or pilot bearing, is making some sounds, and so I figure if I'm just gonna do it, man, I may as well just have a whole new clutch put in, an entire clutch kit installed, so it's good for like the next 4 or 5 years. So I'm just gonna bring it down to Earl's Transmissions and let them throw a clutch in it. And the clutch itself is working good, but the actual, you know, some of the components are not happy. So we'll get all that squared away. Monday I'll bring it down to the transmission shop, hopefully have it back in a couple days. Anyways, so yeah, let's take this 1200cc monster and give it some new brake pads. Let's see what it's going to take to do this job. Alrighty guys, I've never changed them on this bike before. I've changed a lot of brakes on bikes before, but this one is interesting because it has it has 2 calipers on the front. This thing does an exceptional amount of braking. However, it doesn't look like you have to pull the rim or the wheel off, which is a plus. I have had bikes where you've had to do that whole thing to get it done. But I've noticed these are making a lot of noise, and I'm starting to see some weird wear patterns on the rotor. So we're going to go ahead and just change these today. I think I have pretty much all the tools out that I'm going to need. Hopefully I don't have to leave too much. We're going to do this one together. This looks like it might be a 15 or a 14. It is a 14. Alright, so I'm one of those people that does things with an impact wrench just because it simplifies your life, and hopefully it cracks these off without too much of a hassle. So that one's on there pretty good. I may want to break it loose first without having to use this. Yep, those are on there pretty darn tight, so let me grab something real fast. I'm going to grab my next favorite ratchet because this one turns into a breaker bar with just a pull, and it has a small socket head and a large socket head. This is probably one of my favorite ratchets ever, picked up from Harbor Freight. If you guys haven't seen these, they're pretty pimp. But with that being said, let's give this a shot again. And yeah. Go the whole 9 yards. Let's break it free first. I let my friend use my 1/2 inch, so I don't have my 1/2 inch driver. There we go. I can finish the job here with this guy. So, put those aside. Let's hope this is actually just loose enough that this will just pop off there. Looks like it is. Awesome. Do these just fall out, or are we going to have to do the whole thing? No, looks like we're going to have to do the whole thing. Now, let's see if these, yeah, no, not quite. So there is one more piece holding these on. Knew that was coming, man. Alright, well, we're going to have to take this little piece off here, this little bracket, so that we can slide the thing out. Let's see, probably going to be jumping down to what looks like maybe a 4 or a 3. Is this a 3? Yep, we're going down to a size 3 here to pop this little bracket off. Ooh, spring-loaded. Interesting. This is going to be fun to put back down. Oh, of course, there's a little clip inside there. That's going to be fun. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Should have grabbed my pliers, which I didn't. We're just going to set that down like that real fast. There's a little pin on here that you're going to have to straighten out. So, give me 1 sec here, guys. Grab my pliers. See if I got my small pinchers. Can't find my small ones, so we'll just settle for the big guys here. Alright. There's just a little like cotter pin inside here that has to be straightened out real quick. So we'll pinch that until they're straight, just like that. And we'll pull this little pin out. Now that I've got that pin out, what we're going to do, squeeze this shut, because that'll straighten it back out and make it a lot easier to put it back in. So we'll squish that real hard, real fast. There we go. Straighten that pin out, so when we go to put it back in, it'll just go right in. And then we can split them up after the fact. A little bit of bending here, a little bit of bending there. There we go. Alright. Set that pin down there so we don't lose it. Now, let's see. This little piece comes right out of there now. But first I'm going to take it out. So we'll see if we can get her out. Set that down. Then we'll flip it over, because I want to see exactly what pads are coming out of where. So, do these come out the back or the front? Looks like they come out the back. Alright, so these do. These come out the back. Or the front. So they can come out the back or the front. Alright, so let's have a look at these. We're going to set that down like that so we know exactly which ones come out where. We're also going to need one of these old pads. I'm going to set these down so they're still lined up with the way that this goes on. And let's have a look at our pads here. See which set we got right here. Alright, do those match up perfectly? Yes, they do. Okay. So there you go. Nice set of fresh pads right there. And just to show you, there was basically no pad left. These were down to the nitty-gritty of pad. So here's an idea of what a pad should look like, and there's what's left of that pad. Absolutely no pad left. It was at the end. So I could hear it. I could tell. I knew it was getting down to the end. So what I'm actually going to do, guys, because these pads did not come with these little clips here, is I'm actually going to transfer these over off of these and onto there. This will help with the squeaking because it'll keep the pads in place a lot better. So we're going to pop these little brackets off here and switch them over to the new pads. Just going to make sure I got this right here. Yep, okay. So I'm going to take that one and push this on here like so. Make sure it goes. Are they going to fit? Yep. There's one and there's two. So that one's on there now. So now let's do the bottom one. So we'll flip these over and flip those over. We'll do the same thing on this one. God, no pads left. This thing was ridden hard. Alright. Make the switch. You're going to do the exact same thing for the other side. So now that those are on there, we know that we've got the exact same pad set up. What we're going to do is flip these over and flip these over. Now we're going to take our old pad, slide one of our old pads in there, if possible here. It's going to be harder to do than I was hoping. Much harder to do than I was hoping it would be. So, 6 pistons, man. That's crazy how many pistons this thing has. Alright, I'll be back with you guys here in a sec. Alright, so we have to reset these pistons inside here on both sides, and if you have a C-clamp, it's the easiest way to do it. Try to get one where the head's going to fit in there as far as you can. Right now it looks good, so I should be able to squeeze these and it should reset these 3, and then I'll have to flip it over and reset those 3 on the opposite side. Luckily there's little spaces in between the pistons that allows you to have just enough room to slide your C-clamp right inside there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but we have to reset those pistons. So now that that's in there and I've got it tight, I'm going to start slowly tightening it down. We're going to see if we can watch these pistons go all the way down. We have to reset them, but we're going to do it nice and slow here. So we're just going to twist slowly, twist, twist, twist. And as I go, these pistons should start going down. And to be on the safe side here, I am going to just add a little bit of penetrating oil inside here, because that'll really help these pistons close properly, because they look like they're in good shape. So that's it, guys. I actually found it was easier to grab 2 clamps, and as you can see, I've done one whole side there. That whole, all the pistons are all the way down now. I've got these completely tight, so the pistons on the one side are flush. It is a bit of a task to do it, but it is possible with home tools available to you. And so we're going to let that one fall out. Set that aside. So really, the actuality is to do this, you need probably 2 C-clamps. So, and that does one side. As you can see, that whole one side is flush now, all the way down. So now we have to do the other side just like this. Just like this. So I'm going to figure out what's the best way to hit it, which is probably going to be maybe this way. I think it's got to be this way. This is probably going to be the easiest way to do this. So once again, same brake pad, flip it over, stick your C-clamp in there, and make sure that this isn't hung up on anything, because if this is hung up, it's going to keep the C-clamps from going down. So now that this one is seated properly, I can start with the right side and work my way. And yes, guys, the penetrating oil does help, especially if these haven't been done in a while. Spray the pistons with the penetrating oil, let it seep down. It'll definitely make it easier to free these up if they haven't been done in a long time, like this bike has not been done in a long time. So here we are. So get your one clamp started first, and from there, let me reset this one here. Come on down. And from there it gets really much easier. So just hold this in place, hold your brake pad, hold your old brake pad in place, put that in there as far as you can get it, as comfortable as you can get it, and seat this thing, and then start twisting. Try to leave yourself enough room to stick your other C-clamp in there as well. So let's get this one going here. There you go. Make sure they're all properly seated all the way. Drop your clamp out. Boom. Okay. This thing's This thing's ready to have the new pads put in, but first we're going to spray this little rod that I pulled out with some penetrating oil and give it a wipe down. It'll clean it off a little bit with all the brake dust and bull crap that's on there and make it a little easier to put back in. I'm just peeling brake dust off of it, so the easier it is to put back in, the easier your life is going to be, I promise. So, alright, that is that. Let's get these new pads in here, just like that. Pop those in, like so. Get those lined up, if I can. Come on. There you go. Get those to drop in. Won't be a pain in my butt. Let's go. There we go. There we go. Got it that time. Alright, so now that they're through, just got to find the hole. And remember, guys, when you're putting this back in, right, you want to make sure that hole is on the outside lip. So let's get that one in there. And on the back here, you can see what we're doing. There it is. It just dropped into place. So that's going to hold the brake pads now. Now that that's in place, that little bar goes through the loop. And then we put our cotter pin back through it. So let's see if we can get this through there with minimal effort. That would be nice. That would be really nice. Alright, so we're going to push it all the way through. There it is. Then we're going to twist this up so I have access to the pin, like so, and then I'm going to bend it over with my finger, just like that. Make sure that pin can't come out. So there we go. That is now done. And we'll push the top of the pin over, like so. There we go. Pin reinstalled. And now, guys, all you gotta do is drop your bolts back in here. And by the way, I don't think it was necessary to have to take these out. I thought there was a bar there, so really you don't have to undo these other, I don't think you have to undo these ones. I think you just have to do the, oops, is that not the right one? Nope, what do you do here, Dan? I think that is, it's gotta be. There it is. Yeah, I don't think these ones were necessary to take off. I thought that they attached to the brakes up higher, but it does not look like that is the case. These are held in just with that little tiny bar. So we can put these back in and not have to do that on the other side. Okay, it takes care of that. Now don't forget, you got to put your little shield thing back on there. Figure out which way it goes. Looks like it goes this way. Yep, we got a winner. Because it's spring loaded, I'm going to do the back one first, and then we'll do the top or the rear one. It'll be easier not having to stress the small little stuff. Alright. Tighten that one down the rest of the way in a second. So now I can just push this down with my thumb and get this seated on here, like so. There we go. Tighten her down. that's it. Now we got to do split these pads up, which they seem to be holding themselves into place now because they're not as loose as they were. And this should just slide right on there like so. There we go. Just to be on the safe side, I don't want to crack it down too hard with that puppy. We're actually going to relieve some of the tension off of that. We'll just do it normally. There we go. There we go. And now we'll tighten down our other ones that I realized we did not need to take off. That one and that one. So now we have to do this other side right over here. So you're going to do that side. Looks identical. You're going to do that side the same as this. So I won't start the video camera until we get to the rear ones again, okay? So I'll see you guys when I'm done with this one. Alrighty guys, on the back it's a little different, size 12. Should just fall right off there like so. Make sure these are the same size, beautiful and beautiful. They are the same size. Let's see what the difference is with this guy. How does this come off here now? This is interesting. Not quite sure what this pedal thing is for, but this is weird. Let's see if we can just take that off there too. Oh, that's a larger size. That thing's interesting. Huh. Wonder what that is. It's like brake support. I wonder why they had to give this thing brake support. Let's see what size that is. Jumping back up to a 14 it looks like. And is there a nut on the back of this? Of course there is. Why is this one loose? Oh, that's fun. I had a loose bolt, so now I gotta get a... Actually, these aren't too bad. Huh. These are not bad at all. I'm actually going to wait on replacing these because these look like they have still quite a bit. So unfortunately, it looks like we're only going to do the fronts today, guys. These are barely down very much. So, interesting. Well, good to know. Now that I've got it off, I can see that there's tons of brake pad on the back. So the front ones were gone, but these ones are barely look like they have any use on them. So I'm not even going to bother doing the job if it doesn't need it. So we'll just save these until they're needed, I guess. I was going to take all this apart, but now that I can see there's tons of brake pad, it seems pointless. But I hope doing the front helped you guys. There are 12 pistons in the front. That's crazy. And most likely this looks like this just has one big piston for the back. So that would have been a very easy job. But like I said, I'm not going to do it because it doesn't need it. So there you go. So it was just the fronts I was worried about. So now we should have tons of braking power. Alrighty guys, don't forget to smash the like button. Hope that helped. And everything Suzuki Bandit right now. I'm just having fun in my garage at this point. I'm not doing anything I don't need to do, and I'm just doing the work that's necessary for my safety. And if I feel like I think something needs to be done, well then I do it. So we're good to go. Just gonna slide that back up there and put it back in. So cool. Less work for me. I like it. I like it. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. We'll get those threaded in there. Once I know they're not going to cross thread, we'll zap them down. I think that was a 14, right? No, that was a 12. These are just a 12. That is a weird bar, though. I kind of want to learn a little bit of history about that bar. I've never really seen an extra bar added because these are pressure driven. So just for good measure, guys, before I say goodbye. And watch me retighten everything, because I don't want to die, right? So, a little bit of that upwards pressure. A little bit of that upwards pressure. There we go. Done. Don't need to do the rears. Happy joy, joy. Don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to show me some love. I make all sorts of motorcycle and scooter, ATV, jet ski, you name it, we probably do it on this channel. Flying drones, race drones, building stuff, tuning things, modifying. This is an all-around great channel, you know. Don't miss out. Catch you guys on the flip. Toodles!
Are you sure this is okay? You're in country, dude. Live a little. Now, she's pretty sensitive, so go easy on the throttle, okay? All right.